How about Daniel Berger this week, guys?
That was too obvious.
You thought it was too obvious? I mean, who saw that coming? You could have easily said he was a flash in the pan in the summer when he won. I mean, he was doing well in other tournaments, but dude, that was impressive.
Well, you can't say he's a flash in the pan though, because he was doing fantastic, then had injuries, didn't really golf much for a couple of years, and then came back and pretty much won right away and has been competitive.
That's the key. He won right away. I mean, when you're injured for 3 years, and he had multiple injuries. I mean, I don't think you should take away the fact that it was impressive what he did, because you could easily say that when he won in the summer, it was, oh yeah, he got lucky. They just came back from COVID. I think the fact that he stayed in contention and he won the way he did, man, like I thought it was impressive.
No, it's awesome. About time someone did something coming down in the final stretch. That 18th hole was beautiful.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was nice to see him get the redemption at 18 after double bogey in the day before. But yeah, big Berger fan here, Ty. I think you asked for sure.
Yeah, no, you got all the stats on him and everything, and I mean, and he lives through falling in the stand there in the bunker. So that was
awesome. That was great shot. Even better fall back into the trap.
When I went back and looked at, because Daniel Berger was in that same class as Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, and there were others. I think Xander Schauffele was in there too. There was a handful of guys that got so much credit and attention, and rightfully so, because they were good. Daniel Berger was right there with them. He wasn't winning like those guys were, but he was there, and nobody really said anything about him. So when I say impressive, who saw that coming? I knew he was injured, and I was just impressed with everything that happened, because we talk so much about how these players can fall off the map. Daniel Berger's done nothing in the last 9 months to make me think, Mike, that he's going away. Like, he could be the next big superstar on tour.
Yeah, he's definitely golfing steady. I don't know about the next big superstar. Honestly, what do you mean by next big superstar? Is it someone that's, winning multiple times in a year? Is it someone that's getting mega endorsement dollars and is the face of every commercial like Ricky Fowler, but doesn't matter if they're golfing or major champions? Let's define superstar.
Well, I'd call him a top 5 player in the world. I think you've got tiers. I would say top 5 players in the world. And I think Bryson DeChambeau is, trying to get up to that. Colin Morikawa is trying to get up to that. Schauffele, Cantlay are the kind of guys who are trying to get up to that. Yeah. That's how I would define it. A guy who's a top 5 player in the world, which means you're in contention a lot and you win more than pretty much 99% of the other guys.
So, but are we talking age too? Like, age has a factor here, right?
I don't think age needs to matter, because if we're going to talk about the Wolves and the Morikawas, yeah, they have a long time to do that. And somebody like Berger or somebody else in their 30s doesn't really have more time to do that, if that's what you're
Mike,
saying.
You're going to like this one. So I think the next rising star is Jordan Spieth.
I like it. Throw him in there.
Are we going there?
I'll go there.
Yeah, no, I hear he's got a bright future. He's got a pretty strong past too. I think things are looking up for him. So look out for Jordan Spieth. He's the next rising star.
He's teeing you up.
How old is Jordan Spieth now? He's
27.
He's Thomas's age, yeah.
20,
okay.
Yeah.
So right around 30. Yeah. So I mean, that gives you
he's 27.
5 tremendous years of golf, if not more. Yeah, I'll lump Jordan Spieth in there. I can hear that argument. So if we're talking, we have the current top 5, we can all agree that's like Dustin Johnson, obviously. Are we putting John Rahm, Rory McIlroy?
Koepka wasn't there, but Koepka is such a wild card that he's going to be up there. You have to. Yeah. Koepka, Rory, DJ, Justin Thomas, John Rahm. I think those are the 5 guys that I would say can win any tournament. Who else?
Yeah, I think it's staying power and how long they're there instead of just the flash. Yeah. You already mentioned him. Colin Morikawa is my guy, I think. I was looking at some of the stats on him.
I need to see more. I mean,
hey, 22 straight cuts made.
Okay.
As soon as he came on the PGA Tour, he's already got 3 wins.
Yeah, and he's 22 years old.
Yeah, he's 24, and he's already got 3 wins on tour. Swing is legit. Demeanor passes the look test for me. So
you mentioned Matthew Wolff. I don't think you said Victor Hovland. Those 2 Oklahoma State guys.
Yeah,
I think they both have bright futures. Matthew Wolff, to me, I love the way he hits the ball. I love that he does his own thing with the swing, but I've seen great golf from him, and I've seen not so great golf. But Victor Hovland seems like the steadier choice of the two. So if I'm choosing between those two guys, I'll go with Victor Hovland. Who is this guy? Will Zalatoris?
Yeah, Zalatoris. He's the Corn Ferry guy who has really come up and coming the last couple of weeks. He's been
I think that's a guy to look out for. He's been collecting top tens this year after a good performance at the U.S. Open. So maybe throw him in there as a potential rising star. Too early to really tell on that class, I think, though. Outside of Morikawa, I liked his nerves down the stretch. And that dude, he's so pure with his golf swing. And I think that's really what it takes. I mean, because you see guys living and dying by the putter, and we all know that can go cold pretty quickly. But if you're striking the ball well all the time, I mean, you can get away with the short game or the putting yips from time to time. So
I would love nothing more than to see both Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay be up in that mix. I think Cantlay has that kind of factor. Is something missing, though, is what I'm wondering. And it might be a cop-out to say, well, it's tough to win on PGA Tour and, maybe he'll do it one day. Is it naive of me, Tyler, to think that, well, I think Patrick Cantlay should be doing it already because he has the game for it? Because I'm waiting, and we're still waiting. He's won some, but he hasn't taken that next step yet.
I think we're seeing everything that he's going to be. Honestly, I think he's I think he's tapped out. I don't think that I think he's right where he's gonna end. I don't think he's gonna end
right
up being
around
a rising
number
star.
10 in the world.
No, I don't see it.
One or two times a year, maybe.
Yeah.
No, but I think he has a long career though. He's gonna be like I don't know, maybe like I just saw a name because I was looking at the top 5 FSU golfers because Berger came from there and Koepka came from there. Jeff Sluman was on the list. He's kind of like maybe like a Jeff Sluman back in the day, kind of. You want to get his autograph, you know him, but he's not dominating. So I think that we've pretty much seen what we're going to see from him for the next 10 years.
I think with Cantlay, it's kind of more things can come. I think what we've seen what we're going to see from Xander, though. I mean, that guy is always in contention, a steady golfer, but he just can't close it out. And I think he's going to collect top tens his whole career, but I only have a few more wins in him over the next 10 years. Maybe I'm crazy to think that, but I don't see him winning a lot.
I would have called you crazy, and kudos to you, Mike, because you pointed this out weeks ago to us, and Tyler and I were so adamant about Schauffele. I think he can. I just go back to the Cantlay thing. Like, wouldn't it have happened by now? But look at Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas was on the verge of winning a major and being a big household name for a couple of years. He finally won the PGA Championship. And then a couple of years later, he's winning every 4th or 5th tournament. So I think those guys have a chance. I just am wondering if they both hit a ceiling. And for Xander, it might just be one of those things, Mike, where you said it. If he's hit that plateau and he's in contention on Sunday, he falters. Is that going to be his thing the rest of his career? I guess we have a ways to see on that.
And I know we're talking about guys, making that next step. But you mentioned plateau and you mentioned Justin Thomas a few years ago. I think Justin Thomas now has hit the plateau.
I don't think that. Really?
What's the last tournament he's won in a dominant fashion? I mean, he's always hanging around. You always see him on the leaderboard, but I can't recall him just looking strong on a Sunday and closing things out.
I don't.
No, you better just be saying that to say that. No way. I mean, his plateau, his ceiling is so much higher than Cantley's.
Yeah.
No.
We're doing plateaus. If Xander's plateau's here, Justin Thomas's plateau's here.
Yeah, Mike, no. But you know whose ceiling is much lower. Can we real quick? I know I'm going way off in another direction, but Nate Lashley, can we talk real fast about what he did?
Is that because you had him? You had bet money on him and you lost, and he like four putted from 12 feet or something?
Yeah. I'm sitting there, I was listening to it on the radio. Oh man, that was ugly. But I had him his name's always been around. And I thought he might be an up-and-comer. Granted, he's 38 years old, but I thought maybe. But, man, that 4-jack is going to haunt him forever.
Yeah,
guys,
I don't see him coming back from that anytime soon.
did you guys see the news from the PGA of America, what they're going to do with rangefinders?
I think it's about time they allow
the
those.
PGA Championship, the Women's Championship, and the Senior PGA Championship. I mean, is this just something to adapt the game to the new era just for the sake of doing it? I know the excuse is going to be pace of play. Do you buy that?
So weak.
Realistically, though, do you think these guys don't get those exact yardages no matter what? Whether
They
it's
do. So why do you need a
having the
rangefinder?
caddy step it off? Or I mean, so ultimately, what's the difference if it just allows you to take a point and shoot? As long as they're not doing it with the slope and everything, there's still some calculation that you have to do into it. It's not telling you the wind speed. I mean, it's telling you pure yardage. I'm more for them allowing that on tour and taking it away from the amateurs, because to me, there's nothing worse playing with some hacks who are pulling it out, trying to figure out if it's 182 or 186 to pull their 3-iron and shank it into the woods. So allow it on tour, take it away from us amateurs. That's my vote.
Tyler, wouldn't you say that takes away from the skill of the game between a caddy and a player? What you have to get down to a precise yardage. And let me tell you, if you're hitting at 173 or 170 in a big time tournament, you better believe it that you are going to have a big difference on what your next shot's going to be in those 3 yards difference. To me, that takes away from the skill needed to succeed in the game.
Yeah, actually, Chris, I'm going to side with Mike on this one.
You don't think so?
No, man. I'm a purist, or at least my mind tends to be kind of in that old a purist for the game. But I'll tell you what, it's not a big deal. They already have the exact yardages, and they still got to commit, and they still got to hit the shot. And they already have, I think I was reading an article, and one of the caddies said that he's going to pace it off anyway. Even if he shoots it, he's going to pace it off to make sure it's accurate. And they all have yardage books. And to be totally honest with you, they're not going to be shooting things around the green, right? You're not going to shoot a putt. And that's really where all the strokes are gained or lost when the pressure's on. So I'm okay with it. It's not a big deal. And Mike, nail on the head, man. It's amateurs are the ones that it impacts pace of play. It does not impact the pace of play for pros.
I didn't think that was part of it either. That's why I said that.
No. And I get you, Chris. I'm just saying, I can't believe that was their excuse. The pace of play issue is the players. It's not that they take too long to figure out yardages.
I was trying to, for a long time after looking at this the other day, trying to compare it to another sport. And maybe you guys can think of this better than I can. I was trying to think of another sport, maybe like baseball or football or basketball, where they would do this equivalent thing that would be controversial, and should they have done it? Can you guys think of any sports?
Well, the Astros did it. I don't know if you caught that, but they did
that.
That
was also illegal, and look what happened to their perception.
This is a bit of a stretch, but I'll go there. To the NFL, probably about 7 years ago now, when those Surface Pros or tablets or whatever came popular on the sidelines, and instead of flipping through, printouts of formations, they're watching live plays on the sidelines.
Yeah, I guess that's a good one.
Not quite as controversial, I don't think, but it's really hard to draw a parallel between a team sport and something so individual and skill focused like golf. Trying to come up with something off the top of my head here, and it's tough.
There really isn't one that impacts. There isn't one that impacts the game as directly as probably shooting a distance in golf. But and I hear you, Chris, and I think it is going to give a slight advantage. But golf's got other things to worry about outside of that.
Well, hey, you guys teamed up on me, and I want to see them more often. So
kudos
to you.
One other point to that, right, is you're still going to see great dialogue going on between the players and the caddies. And you know what? I hope they shoot the yardage wrong every once in a while, and that'd be fantastic if they think it's 173, but catch the tree and it's really 180, and they bomb it over or whatnot. So a closing point there. I'm curious to see how scores compare and if it actually makes a notable difference. I'm willing to bet it doesn't.
Mike, hold on. I'm with you, but before we close this one, my question, I was thinking about this today. how often do you think the caddies are wrong today? Like, how much do you think this is actually going to improve
Well, if you ask Jordan Spieth, a lot.
outside of Jordan
I'm just
Spieth?
teasing.
Because
No, I would say
upset
that they
every
admit
shot.
they're wrong more than you think.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't hear it outside of Jordan because he whines after every shot. But besides him, you don't hear it very often. And I feel like when you do, it's it makes news, right? So I don't know. I feel like they're pretty accurate because that's what they're doing the whole time they're doing their practice rounds. They're out pacing things off, so they know where they're at to every major tree or bunker or whatever marker that's in the fairway.
Well, look at it this way. So you guys have both played enough golf in your life to realize how far away you think you are in a hole. I mean, how many times have you been out there? This has happened to me where I'm looking, okay, there's my 135 marker. I'm standing right here. The pin's in front. I think I'm 131. And then someone shoots the gun and it's 132.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so it's the same
and
thing.
for my golf game, that level of close is close enough. But I mean, you're 2 yards off. That's a 6-foot putt, and if you don't hit it perfect, say you're to 12 feet putt instead of 6-foot putt, your make miss percentage probably cuts and bound by 2/3 there. So I mean, to these guys playing for millions of dollars, that level of precision is key.
Chris, that was some serious math right there. Put that on the reel to introduce that. That's
you know why? Because I've done it 100 times. You have too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah, so they're going to do this in May for the PGA Championship, the only time of the year they're going to do it. Maybe the USGA does it. Who knows? It's not going to be this week at Riviera for the Genesis Invitational. Par 71 course. Adam Scott is the reigning defending champion. There are a lot of top players in the world. Tons of top 15 guys are in it. We're doing something new. We're doing picks. Top dog of the week. Guys, I'm going with Patrick Cantlay. All right, you can laugh at me all you want. I think the guy. I think he's due. Dog? I think he's due.
Oh boy.
We just got done talking about how this guy hits the plateau, and you're taking a value pick and making him your top dog. I
think you got him in the wrong category there, Chris.
Well, man, you call him a value pick? I guess he is like what, 6th or 7th on the list there.
Yeah. Ty, who do you have?
I got Rahm. I think he's going to show out. I think this is. I think he did 13th at the Waste. I think he was 7th at the Sony. Took last week off for Valentine's Day. I think he's my dude here.
Okay, I just have to ask, how do you guys feel comfortable going with anyone other than Dustin Johnson?
Well, because I feel
loses,
like, well, I mean, I would go with Dustin Johnson, but if Dustin Johnson is in every field and he doesn't win, are you going to pick him the next week?
I mean, but when has he not won recently? This guy steps on the golf course and he is, I mean, no one competes and he's not winning by a shot. He's dominant.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't on American soil. He hasn't won in a little bit.
Well, the Masters, right?
Yeah, it was 4 months ago?
That was 2 months ago. Took some, I don't think he played many tournaments between then and Dubai.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. And then, Dustin Johnson, that's my pick, obviously.
No, it's a solid pick. Obviously, he is by far the favorite for this weekend. I don't know what the odds are right now, but he is by far the favorite. I like that pick, Mike, but I'm blaming it on jet lag. I think that's going to screw him up. So
yeah, well, it very well might. And the reason why I say Patrick Cantlay, he is plus 1,800. I like to go based off of two things: how have you been playing lately, and how have you done in this course in the past? I mean, he finished tied for 4th in one of the only times he played the event. Does that mean something? Maybe he was playing well that week. I don't know. He has done pretty well this year. I mean, recently 2nd place, tied for 3rd, and tied for 13th. That's why I went, Mike, with Patrick Cantlay, because if I'm going to pick Dustin Johnson every week, I got to keep it fresh. The guy can't be my top dog every week. He was last week, and he didn't even play because he dropped out on Monday.
You can blame that one on jet lag, but his victory this weekend, I don't think we'll need to blame on anything.
All right. Well, how about a value pick? A guy maybe right in the middle of the pack who not a lot of people are betting, and if you put money on this guy, you could win some serious coin. Michael, you go first.
Yeah, we didn't mention him in the Rising Stars chatter earlier, but Scotty Scheffler, I got to go with him.
Yeah.
really he was overshadowed a couple of years when he came on. Solid golfer, shot some extremely low scores. Hasn't really put together a full tournament yet. But I think this could be the weekend.
Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just letting Mike's pick kind of resonate for a little bit. I didn't pick Scheffler. I'm actually going with my boy Brooks here. I think he is a solid value. Plus 2,400.
What are his odds?
He's 22-1.
22-1 to win, and he just won.
Yep, 22-1. And I mean, John Rahm was 12-1. So yeah, I mean, it's essentially half as likely to get in there. And I don't know. I mean, we know the conversation we've all had, right? And is this tournament going to get him going? I think it is. I think we're going to see that there's enough names on the leaderboard, but my prediction is he's not going to come out in the lead. I think he's going to do the same thing he did at Waste Management. I think he's going to kind of lay back, and then he's going to decide, okay, yeah, now it's time for me to show these guys what's up. So Brooks is my value pick for the week.
Tyler, I know you put Carlos Ortiz as your long shot, right?
Oh, yeah.
I put him as my best value. I think that he's plus 9,000. I think this guy is legit. I mean, first of all, he won the Houston Open. Okay, if we're talking about if DJ can win the Masters, the Houston Open was just as recent as that was, albeit not as big a competition, but it doesn't matter. And he's played really well lately, had a tie for fourth recently. He's a really good putter too. He's top 15 in so many putting categories. He's been hanging around, and I think plus 9,000 is really good for somebody like him.
Yeah, he's definitely snuck up the leaderboard, but I don't know. I guess I was putting it in terms of odds. Like if that's your if that's your best value, who's your long shot? Like
my long shot is
Ryan
James
Brown.
Hahn.
Well, what's his odds? Where's he at?
James Hahn is plus 15,000.
That's a great pick.
Now here's the thing with long shots, man. Like your odds of that guy winning are not very big. Obviously, plus 15,000. I mean, James Hahn's not going to win this tournament.
You have to read.
Will you guys give me $1,000 if James Hahn wins this tournament?
No, because I think that's a tremendous pick.
So you're not that confident.
I think Hahn is that's one I didn't think to throw in there, but I think he's been successful there in the past.
Tied for 13th and tied for 14th, and he's made every cut recently on the tour. Tied for 9th, tied for 6th, tied for 5th, and 10th last week.
Wow, what do we not know enough about this guy?
I think that's a pretty good bet.
23rd in greens hit. Not that means everything at Riviera, but he's the kind of guy who you never hear about. Kind of like Scheffler, really. You call Scheffler a middle of the pack kind of guy. I would say James Hahn is just as dangerous as Scheffler is too.
I don't know if I don't think Hahn can go quite as low as Scheffler.
Probably can't.
I think he's got a future on the PGA Tour. Long shot, maybe he busts out here and he joins that conversation of rising stars. I kind of went with the weird pick with Alex Noren. I don't really know why. I just wanted to go with the Swede. Kind of a weird thing for me.
He's the kind of guy who would have been a best value a couple of years ago, because you guys realize he was a player a couple of years ago.
Sure.
I mean, I think he rose easily top 12 in the world at one point.
I think my reasoning is this: is those guys are starting to get tuned up for the Ryder Cup. He's a guy that really needs to start proving himself if he wants to find himself on the team. He's gone low a couple times this year, but once again, a guy who hasn't put together a full tournament. I think he's starting to figure some things out, even though he's coming off a missed cut, I think. And I think he could be up there towards the top of the leaderboard. I'm not going to say he's going to win, but I'd bet on him to finish for a top 10. So that's my value pick.
All right, so those are our picks: top dog, best value, and long shot. Mike, what's our song of the week this week when we go out?
I'm going with Mace. Feels so good. Big jam back in middle school. I was a big Mace, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy at the time, Notorious B.I.G. Maybe pour a little out for him. But yeah, this song, I just picture out there. You're hitting the ball good. The birdies are dropping. You're with your buddies. Beer's cold. Like everything's perfect. So that's my jam.
All right, guys, we got lots to talk about this weekend. Bets are up galore. Tyler's iPhone is going in and out. It's time for us to go.
It is. Later, boys.
See you guys. Well, you certainly will find a lot of social media golfers out there on Instagram and such, but you may not find one who's more hilarious than my next guest. His name's Josh Butler, or also known as the Buttsy. Thanks for being on. But Josh, before we get into it, I got to bring in a friend of mine on the show. Tyler Morgan actually introduced me to you about 3 years ago, and all I knew you was the Coors Latte guy because I had no idea who you were.
Here we go. Okay. All right.
That's right, man. Yeah, dude, I found you. It was that whole range stuff you were doing, man. When you're out there hitting bombs and smoking on cigs, and I was like, this guy's legit. So I turned Chris on to you, and yeah, I've been following you ever since. So it's freaking sweet.
I'll tell you what, man, it's been something crazy because I've been doing this for like 4 years. I still don't get it. I still don't understand it. I don't. I really don't.
You don't get how popular it is. That's what you're saying?
No, I don't. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't, because I don't follow anybody. I don't do anything on social media personally. I don't care about it at all.
I'm going to look up who you follow.
Well, you can, there's what I would call a courtesy follow. I definitely courtesy follow people, but I don't give a fuck what anybody's doing. I don't. I don't care what anybody's up to. I don't watch. I do my life, and maybe that's the allure. I don't know.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, because dude, you just do you all day, every day. I mean, people tune in to watch you make breakfast every day. Like
I'll be honest, Buttsy. If we get anything out of this, I want to know how you make those Buttsy breakfast burritos. Is the key just the egg that makes right? Is the key's 3 eggs? It's sad that I know it's 3 eggs.
So you got to buy whole eggs. You can't buy the white eggs. Okay. I don't even know if we're allowed to say that. It's 2021, but eggs, and then you got to use duck fat. Don't use regular oil. You got to use Irish butter. There's a lot of things, even down to flipping it and the crisp and the crust that you get on the egg. I come from a long line of burrito makers. So, yeah.
You said you have no idea how this started 4 years ago, but I mean, you had to have gotten an idea, or somebody must have caught on to something you were doing at some point, right? You remember?
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I know what started it. I don't know what's maintained it, and I don't know why people continue. I don't know how it continues to grow. I've made a concerted effort based on the demand and what people ask for. So I take that back. I don't do special requests. I won't do anything that I don't want to do. But if I do put something out there, like the cooking thing, that started one day. I was like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm going to put up myself cooking something. And then the next morning you wake up to, and for an Instagram person, this is pretty unanimous. You got 50 DMs, from the night before. So you got to get those out of the way. It's like checking your email, basically. No, seriously. It's a real thing. So you wake up in the morning, and that's one of the first things you do. In addition, I have a full-time job. I have my own life, my own personal life. But that's part of the thing now. It's become part of my life, is this Instagram thing. And after that first time that I put up some cooking stuff, and it wasn't anything elaborate, talk about making a fucking breakfast burrito. This is not complex. This is a tortilla, a couple eggs, whatever meat you want. You want to put veggies in it? Cool. Do it. I cook in the same pan every night, like I live in a trailer park. So
you have the same spatula too.
100%.
Is that like a 30-year-old spatula?
I've been, okay, here's funny. People have offered me money like this for this spatula. I said,
that's
look,
ridiculous.
Like how much?
Kroger Foods sells this spatula in their last minute houseware aisles. Okay. It's right in between cereal and snacks. That one aisle, it's got like shortening and like Febreze and foil. It's in there. And it's like $4. You can get the same spatula. So people have offered me $100 for that. So I was like, well, now I didn't even think the spatula was cool or tight. And now it is to me. So I'm not selling you my spatula. I love this thing. But anyway.
It's all part of the lure, man. It's all part of the gig.
I guess, man. I don't know. People are weird, dude. That's what that's what I've figured out is people are really strange. They pay attention to a lot more than you would think.
Yeah.
You have a lot of sponsorships. I feel like every time I see your stories, you got some new gift. I mean, we're all jealous, but how did that start? I mean, And is there like a lot of pressure for you to maintain what you
No.
do so you keep doing this stuff?
Not at all, man. And I tell people that, like, you'll get random messages in the DM. Like I said, you're checking them in the morning. Hey, Buttsy, I work for so-and-so. We have a product that's launching and whatever, or we already have a product. We'd love for you to try it out. Okay, well, I'd be happy to do that, but please don't have any expectations. You know what I mean? Unless you're paying me, and that does happen. I do paid stuff, and I go out of my way to make sure that that's extra special and it's recurrent on an agreed upon, series of times, right? So it could be like twice a month, I'm going to put this up, and there's prime time on Instagram. It's just like television. So early in the morning, when somebody's doing their morning business, that's a very popular time for Instagram. It's great for ads. And then after work, what's that mean? East Coast, they're 2 hours ahead of Arizona. So about 3:30 in the afternoon, Arizona time, it's a good time to put stuff up. And let me back up a little bit. I think what has separated me a lot, because I get a lot more stuff than most people, especially like some random guy with an Instagram account with not 500,000 followers. That's me. My day job and what I come from, I'm a professional marketer. I mean, I'm in marketing. I've been doing this for years and years. So taking my professional ability and tailoring it to this social media thing and learning about it, it seems to be working, man. I don't know. Like, people are very happy with how I show off products, because I don't sell people stuff. I show them stuff. You know what I mean?
It's interesting you say that, because you're in marketing, you know how to do this. Like, I'm in television and I can't even come close to what you are able to do and put out there. It's because of your background. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
I think it's definitely helpful. You got a lot of people with a ton of followers, and they just don't have any knowledge of that. They don't put in the work. They don't understand the people. They haven't sold something for 20 years and fall back on that. This is just another version of that. So absolutely.
Hey, Buttsy, so I got a question for you. So it hooked me. Like, I couldn't believe there's this guy who's out there that, what you used to say was always go with Christ or whatever. What was your saying that you like don't say anymore?
Go with Christ.
What's the story behind that? Because I remember hearing that and I was like, I don't know what it is about that. But that's pretty damn funny. What
that started from day one. So it's really funny. I didn't realize when I was saying that it was two-pronged thing. So nobody could understand what I was saying. So they became this elusive thing. Like, what is he saying at the end of his videos? And I didn't realize for the first year I did this that nobody understood what I was saying. I thought they were picking up on the joke I was putting out. Like, I did it on purpose. And the joke is, it's from a South Park episode.
Yes, go with Christ, bro.
And it's from when Cartman plays Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I am the dog, the big dog.
And he's like, hey, man, you need to get your
I was
life right.
thinking that.
Exactly. You need to get your life right. Come on out here. You want a cigarette? Go crack.
Go
Go Christ, bro.
That's where it comes from. 100%.
I think my favorite, I think your funniest viral moment idea you had is Thin It Thursday. That is incredible. How many submissions do you get in a week, do you think?
I have a hard drive at this point from 3 phones. I probably have a bigger cache of the worst golf shots ever filmed, ever, than anybody on the planet Earth. And I've saved all of them. When I've transitioned, you know what I mean? They talk you into upgrading to a new phone and paying 3 times the amount, putting it on the next bill. Even despite that, I've saved all those videos. So Thin It Thursday, it's taxing though. I did it for a long time, but you got to understand how much work that is to do that. And do you know why? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, because
sure.
You're getting so many submissions, and I bet you get a lot of angry people who just flood you and say, why wasn't my video shown? My video is hilarious. And if you have 10,000 videos, what are you supposed to do?
I got, so after year 1, I don't mind I figured out the best method is not to bullshit people. It's just to tell them, they're like, what'd you think? And I'll be like, yours wasn't that funny. It wasn't that good.
And
you thought it was better than it was. And I love you.
If Tyler submitted one, he'd be devastated if you told him it wasn't funny.
I just tell people, like, I don't, maybe it is, and it's me. Maybe it's me. It's me. It's not you. It's me.
Probably not. It's probably not you.
It's, some people think it's, you know, I don't know. Some people have a very warped sense of humor, and they think, you know, a dog falling through a door is funny, and it's not. And their buddy hitting it just right into the rough is funny, and it's not. So, yeah. But the thing is that I need to bring it back, and I do bring it back every now and then. It's just trying to work on that Thursday, you know what I mean? And doing that. Yeah. Here's how it works, right? So you get a video. 50% of the videos aren't submitted correctly. They go away. They have to be submitted so you can save them in your DMs. So you can save the video. And here's the hard part. So you save the video. It says video saved. Then you have to remember, and everybody has a different tag, at XO5642 Eon Flux. And then you have to save that. And then you have to click back on Instagram, hit story, upload the video, and then accurately remember exactly what that guy's tag was in order to put the video up. And you're doing that while you're driving around and all day long. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Buttsy, how do you manage, like, it sounds like you figured it out. You know, you just basically, you are who you are. But I feel like there's so many people, even in the golf Instagram influencer world, they go down that rabbit hole, they get emotional, they hang on like everyone in the comments. Like, how do you stay away from that? Because I feel like that's just a bottomless pit that people fall into. And like,
well, I'm 35 years old, dude.
So I'm
old. I'm old enough to have experienced real life prior to what people perceive to be real life, which is social media now, and that's disgusting, and that's very true. I think that that's the case. This is a mockery to me. This whole thing is a joke, and it always has been, and it always will be. I do not take this seriously. I don't know you. You don't know me.
And you don't care. Why should you?
I don't care. How you have no idea who I am. I don't know who you are. If I put something out and you have an emotional response to it, you're an idiot. Yeah. Like, what are you? You're a complete moron. Like,
well, it sounds like very early you develop thick skin, and you have to have thick skin if you're going to do anything remotely close to what you do. And if you don't, you're not going to survive more than a day, because you go on social media, people are mean, man. They are really bad.
I've never lost a DM battle. Ever.
That's awesome.
I'm like Mike Tyson of the DM.
What's your strategy?
My strategy is I'm really mean and I'm pretty intelligent, and the average Joe,
the trolls,
dude, like, let me close this door real quick. It's getting a little loud. I have like this, I'm pretty sure that my condo, the fan in the bathroom is from the 50s, and it sounds like a spaceship. So we're just gonna close that. Where are we at?
Your strategy for dominating the DMs.
Dude, you just can't get emotional. Like, you can't allow yourself to become emotional over something that it's not real. It's fake. You don't know this person. They don't know you. And what they're basing their opinion off of is a perceived 4 minutes of your day, maybe. If you post all day long, if you do stories, and they're literally connected to you all day long, they see what they think is you. They don't have any idea who you really are, and you don't know who they are. So if somebody wants to throw shade at you, well, you're pathetic. Like, I mean, you already lost.
Well, if you're getting that on a daily basis, you're doing your job right, because it means you are a national brand
all day long,
and people care. Have you gotten any television or any kind of appearances that you've had in the past that have been memorable to you?
Oh my God, yeah.
Tell me about Holy Moly.
Holy Moly. So I don't know anything about Holy Moly. I never watched the show ever. I refused to. I watched like somebody run down a carpet one time, I think, at my buddy's house when it was on, and they were watching it, and I was like, nope, not watching that. That looks absolutely what grown man is holding a putter and doing that? There's no money in that. Those guys aren't getting paid any money. Holy Moly asked me if I would pay my way to LA for a week to film. And I was like, what?
They probably assumed you were desperate to take it, and you're not.
This is not a vacation to come out and go swimming with my suit on in your made up pond, playing putt golf. I don't give a shit about Holy Moly. Now, that said, the only reason that I did the interview is because I wanted to make the guy that was interviewing me crack. I wanted to make him laugh. That was like a big personal thing. I was like, okay, I'll get on here tonight. This guy's going to shit his pants. And he was dying. Like, he was crying, laughing. And that's what I told you I was pissed off about. I wanted that video. They won't send it to me now. I'm pretty pissed.
And it didn't air.
No, it was the tryout video.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it was a tryout video. And
what's the point of even inviting you if you have to try out?
Well, they said you're in. You're in. Can you make these dates? And I was like, no. And they're like, why would you go through all the process? I said, all what process? We had a 8-minute video chat. What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm really curious about what you do. I also love how you impose your face on people. In specific, Kevin McAllister, that is just genius. I mean, I think I laughed for 20 seconds when I saw you
that's a great,
do the whole. How do you do that?
It's a great app. It's nothing crazy. It's not some time-consuming thing.
But your face stays perfect on, like it doesn't move. I mean,
well, here's what I found out. So a lot of people have tried to use it and they failed for whatever reason. I'm a plus size model and I have really good genetics. That's probably why. But
God-given talent.
At least he's modest about it.
Just God-given talent, maybe.
No, man. Even my buddies though, they've all downloaded the same app, and for whatever reason, my face symmetry, it fits on everything.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio and who else am I thinking of?
Yeah, it's a Reface app, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
But Buttsy does it so perfectly. That's why I'm asking.
My face fits on all that shit so good, and I don't know why.
It's destiny.
So you're clearly taking off in very many different directions, whether it started with golf or into food, and you're a very handsome plus size model. But you're doing this Buttsy Open in the Scottsdale area. Tell us what that's about, how you can join, and what kind of stuff in the future you want to do with that.
So we've been talking about doing a turn. I mean, I grew up playing competitive golf. I've worked in the golf industry for years and years. I taught golf. And then I realized that if you work in golf, you're poor. And I didn't want to be poor. So I got out of golf. And then the social media aspect happened. And I started getting invited to all of these corporate events and all these companies that were coming out, these entrepreneurs putting on events and flying out influencers, as so were called. And it was always a plan to do an event. But I was like, dude, I'm not going to do this until it's like, it needs to be like a memorable thing, like not a scramble and here's your tea bag and no pun intended. And you got your towels and your teas and there's, oh my God. And who won? They shot 25 under. Well, finally the stars aligned and the Ritz-Carlton Dove Mountain reached out. They used to play the WGC there back in the day, as you know.
Match play. Right.
Yep.
It's just funny how it all worked out. And they said, hey, why don't we have an event? And so I went down there and played it for 2 days. I had a weekend there. They put me up. We had a meeting. And I said, look, I don't want to do this unless it's like real, like the Fire Fest of golf, but it actually happens. You know what I mean?
So it's a 4-man scramble, right?
I know exactly what
like this elusive, like mythical type. Wow, Butsy's having a tournament and it's going to be insane. Where's it at? It's a golf vacation. It's a tournament, but it's a golf vacation. And it's absolute debauchery in the middle of the desert at Ritz-Carlton Dove Mountain, outside of Tucson and Phoenix in Marana, Arizona. And everybody gets their own room at the Ritz. We have live music. I mean, we got Paul Cawthon flying in. He's going to play the event all 3 days. Pool parties after golf. Food included. We got booze sponsors. I got an IV company on the range for hangovers in the morning. Everything you could possibly imagine. Heaven? Dude, like people are gonna check in and have a week's worth of the dopest golf clothes given to them. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like extra.
That's awesome.
And so that's what we did.
Give us the details. A 4-man scramble. How much per guy? Is it 2 nights or 3 nights?
It's 2 nights, 3 days, 63 holes of golf. One of the courses the average Joe would never walk foot on it. That's the Gallery Golf Club. That's the private side of Dove Mountain. And that is the site as well. It's all on property. Public access is limited typically to the Ritz and Dove Mountain where they played the WGC, but there's a whole other private side, which is absolutely epic. I mean, there's snack stations with ice cream and sodas and beer, and it's unbelievable. The place is beautiful.
So how much a guy?
Well, it depends. So a foursome, damn it, I don't know my math right now. It's 45. It's actually a fairly good deal. You figure your average night at the Ritz is going to be around $400, regardless of time of year or whatever. That was kind of the average. So it's 2 nights, 3 days, $4,500 for a foursome. So not bad, really, considering. And then you throw the golf in there. Food is all included as well. Pool parties, and then I think we have 3 drink sponsors on course and at the pool after golf, where you don't have to pay for shit. So
you would think it's a lot of money, but it's really a bang for your buck for all the stuff you get to do and how high class it is. If
you're looking to get away and you do like a guy's trip every year, every 2 years or whatever, this is as chart topping as anywhere you're going to go and have it probably more fun because there's more included because we have sponsors involved. So yeah, pretty exciting, man. I'm stoked about it. I can't believe it's actually happening.
So right now it's the middle of February. How many spots for teams are left?
We have 9 teams left to sign up. I will accept. I don't want it to be flooded with whole sponsors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think we have 4 whole sponsors, 2 title sponsors left that are purchasable. After that, it's cut off. I don't care how much money I make off of it. In fact, almost every dollar. I mean, I'm obviously making a few bucks off it for the effort, but most of the money is being reinvested in gifts and food and booze and prizes, so that we can do it again. You know what I mean? We can do it again. It's not the a one and done thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So man, you're very good at hyping stuff up, but I have a feeling that this is going to be even better than what you're talking about. I'm sure you have a lot of tricks up your sleeve for this tournament.
I'm downplaying it big time.
Good.
I'm downplaying it big time because I don't want to. I've learned that, obviously, being in marketing for a long time. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. I'm basically just telling people you get 2 nights, 3 days at a former PGA Tour event golf course. If you haven't seen it, it's insane. I'd encourage you to go watch the video, check it out, go to the website, and that's what it is. Well, what are the prizes or what do we get? I said, stay tuned for that. I'm not giving any. I want people to show up and just be like, what the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my goal. I want every person that shows up, regardless of how much money they have in the bank, to have an incredible time.
Well, Buttsy, I hope you can get I'm sure you'll have no problem getting your 9 teams. So thanks, good luck to that. Maybe Tyler and I will see you in Arizona for the Buttsy Open. I know you're going on vacation this week. You're going to Florida for the Corn Ferry Tour event, right?
Yeah, how about that? Oh, I'm excited about that. I'm actually very nervous too because I haven't been playing a ton. Arizona golf, so golf in Arizona has gone up since COVID like 25%. It's almost impossible to get a tee time out here, and my golf game has suffered as a result of that. So, you know, I'm a normal dude, and I'm going to go out, and I obviously grew up playing competitive golf and all that, but that was then. You know, I was good then. So you still get nervous going and teeing it up with good players. I mean, who doesn't? Like, you don't want to make an ass out of yourself. So I'm just curious what's going to happen when I hop off the plane tomorrow.
Are you playing in the actual tournament or is it a pro-am?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So there's like a trick up their sleeve, I think. But
wait, you're playing in the event?
I hope not.
What do you mean you hope not?
Are you going prepared with clubs?
I have clubs. I have some pretty I already laid out like my coolest outfits, right? You got to lay out your coolest outfit.
You gotta get the
cleanest shoes, the freshest hats, like you know.
Yeah.
A belt that you hope fits that just got here from Travis Matthew. You lost some weight though, so you're like, yeah, I'll bring that. But no, man, I think it's gonna be a good time.
I'm still confused about what you're doing there. You're playing 4 rounds of competitive golf on the.
No idea, bro.
And they're not telling you?
No.
All right. Well,
okay,
we're going to stay
let
tuned
me
to
break
that.
it
That's
down.
a tease if
Let me
I've
break
ever
it
heard
down.
one.
So they said it's short par 4. I had no idea that they were the title sponsor of the event. I didn't know that. I didn't even know who they were. They reached out a couple months ago and they said, look, what does it take to work with Buttsy? And, you know, I looked them up. They had 30,000 followers. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, you know, let's, here's my rates and here's what I do and here's what I can offer. And then the message back was, you know what, F that. What's your real name and your date? What's your real name and your date of birth? And I was like, what? I'm not giving you that. So I did on a whim. And like 5 hours later, I looked at my email and I had this first class ticket to Florida in a nice hotel. And that's it. I don't know what they want to do. So I'm going down there blind. I have no idea what they have in store. And
I think that almost makes it better. Are you excited?
Dude,
you're not nervous. You're just going to do whatever whatever you're doing. You're going to do it well.
Look at that. It's been
hard as a rock.
Diamond in an ice storm, dude. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Are you going with anyone? I mean, are you going to film this? Like, what happens if Buttsy just like drops off the face of the earth, man? I mean,
you're not going to film anything?
Oh, I'm going to film every moment of it.
There you go.
Personally, I don't have a camera. I do all my own. I'm not that cool. I wish I was, but I'm going to film every part of it. I'm going to chronicle the whole thing. And honestly, I think people are excited too. They're like, what? We're longing for the ride, bro. We don't know either.
Yep.
Hey man, you enjoy the week, and we're going to. I know T and I are both going to be glued to our phones on like Thursday, Friday,
I want to check this out.
What the heck you're doing?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, so I think it could be fun.
All right, Josh Butler, the Buttsy. Thanks for taking the time, man.
Gentlemen,
See you, dude.
guys, be good. Love you.
You too.